One of the things that we can do in this moment to make a difference is to make use of your talents. We may not march in the streets, we might not petition or do things like that, but what we can do is find what our talents are, the things we're passionate about, share them, because I want to help. And I thought, what am I good at? And I thought and I thought, and it came to me, I'm gay and I am good at it. It's all about skill because I'm old. I'm 69, and at in my absolute latest of late 60s, almost 70, I have a lot of experience, and I'm going to help you. And by you, I mean other men who might just happen to be, seniors, uh, maybe even in your late 60s, like me. And so you've never been gay. Say, your whole life you've been heterosexual, and you said, one day you just thought of, I think I want to be gay, but there you are in your senior years, and you just decided to be gay. It just doesn't happen that quickly. Now, I decided to be gay early, so I've got all this talent because that's what happens. You decide to be gay, right? You're not gay, just it's something you decide to do. And so I decided to be gay a long time ago. So all that practice has made me an expert. I'm not an expert at anything else, but boy, am I gay. I am an old gay man. So if I can help you, here's the first thing you need to do. You need to become an ABBA fan. All right. Say you're used to listening to country music. I mean, not just country music, but the old, like, crying in your beer music, because you're used to hanging out with the guys at the beer bars, and you're the kind of guy that drives your pickup down to the beer bar, and in the trunk you got your hunting dog and your rifles, you know. So those are great things to have. But you know what is also good to have is an ABBA T-shirt. So you need to start by wearing an ABBA T-shirt. Now, you can find these online. Just type in ABBA T-shirts. For those men who aren't used to, don't know the internet like me, you can just about find anything on the internet. So get one of them there, ABBA T-shirts, and you can get any of them. I suggest getting the one with picture of them in the limousine where they're drinking champagne. That title of that album that this picture is on is called ABBA. It's self-titled. So that picture's really good, a starter, because you don't want to just jump right in there and go all the way to ABBA Voyage, because that's just pushing it. Okay, I'm coming to that, but the other thing you need to do is to be gay, you have to wear shorts that are substantially above the knee. Normally, when I go out to anywhere, if I go to, pick up, I don't know, douche or lip balm or just something to touch up my makeup, I go in really short shorts. These things are up like above my crotch area. So they actually come up there because, I'm in my 60s, but gay, if you're gay, you've got to do these things. So that's the first step. The other thing is, for you guys that are like hyper masculine, you guys with the pickup trucks and hunting dog and the rifles, and the Trump flags flying off the back of it, and those mud guards on flaps on your dualies, that with the lady or woman, whatever. That's yeah. You want to change those out to have men. You see this a lot in West Hollywood or Palm Springs, and you really should bring that to your town. Now, I live in Yucaipa, and It's important, and I do that. I have mud flaps on my Toyota. It's a hybrid, and but I know most people don't put the men, you know, the studs on their mud flaps on cars like that. But if you're gay enough, you will, and I've done that. Okay, you got to put up a pride flag. That's a must. That, and some of them there, for those of you that are, you know, backwoods, I must say, them there, you've got for, you know, if you're hyper masculine, you're going to have to give up some of those standard procedures for super macho guys. You're going to have to hug another guy once in a while. I mean, like a real hug, not the kind of hug where you can't touch, you know, the bro hug where you like actually reach across the back and pound them as hard as you can. You knock their breath out, or make their beer slosh, or knock the cigarette out of their mouth because you're hitting them so hard. And you got, you know how you, I know how you are. You don't touch. You're so afraid. It's almost like you're on your tiptoes, and your whole midsection is, you got to stay away. And then like this, um, that's got to stop. You know, I don't know how macho you have to be before you can't hug another man, but that is macho. And I don't know how much testosterone you have, you know, to be like that. It's just too much testosterone. And I love testosterone. It's delicious. I'm kidding. That sounds horrible. No, testosterone is not, no, you're going the wrong place. Testosterone is, it's a male hormone. We know that, right? It's not that. It's, you know, so, and I've had the testosterone. I mean, not just in me. I had low testosterone for a while. And by that, I mean now. And it affected things. I won't tell you what things. But, you know, and I had the gel you put on, you know, I didn't, you know, it just on the skin. You put it in the flabby areas, like under the arm, not in the armpit, but under the arm. I put it on me. So that's testosterone. And but you have too much, mister. Just too much. If you want to be gay, and I know you do. That's why I'm here to help. This is an instructional video. Now comes the fun part. There are a few things you're going to need. Now, the last time I went to the Pleasure Chest in West Hollywood, it was closed. They closed it up. You know, it's, I think the military came in, the National Guard and the Marines, and they closed that sucker up. It's closed tighter than, I don't know who's what, but it's tightly closed. And so now you're going to have to go online. There you go again. Type in butt plug. You're going to need one of them. Okay. So every gay man needs one. Okay. So this is important. Now, if you're a right-wing, white nationalist, Republican, Trumpster, then this is really going to be a really difficult transition. So I suggest getting a small butt plug to start with, just enough to, you know, and it won't come out easily. Later on, when you get it will, if you have it too, you know, but not now. You don't have to worry about that. There won't be a mess or anything. So, so those are some of the things. I'm going to make this a series. So we're going to progress. You know, I'll recap, of course. I want you to, but you're going to have to practice what I've already shown you or taught you, and to get started. So you might, just one last thing before, speaking of getting started, you need to limber yourself up. You're going to have to do some stretches and back bends. You might want to hang yourself upside down from a door frame Don't ask me why. You'll know later. And you might want to buy a seal, not of approval, not that. No, I mean the animal that you see in the sea, because you're going to need to train it. The trained seal will do a lot of the work for you when you actually do gay stuff. Okay? And you'll see what I mean once you get to, I don't know how big of a bathtub you have, but that might be necessary to do a remodel. One of those big Roman tubs. I mean, like for big Romans, not even like, Roman Polanski. No, not like, the regular for one regular person, but a tub that will fit a fat Roman. And they were good at gay too, those Romans. So that's, read about that. So I want to thank you for tuning in to step 1 of how to become an old gay man. And there are some specifics I haven't got to yet that are to the age bracket. And starting at, they say it's never too late. You're in your 60s. It's never too late. You can be gay. Anybody can. You just make a choice. No, all this nonsense. I was born this way. Come on. We know that's not true. We hang around a certain crowd. It happens. You make a friend of a gay man, and you didn't know they were, and then their influence, bam, you're gay. It just happens. And it's not an easy life, because to do some of those moves that we do, it's hard. No pun intended, but it really is difficult. So tune in again. I'll be back here teaching you more stuff on how to be gay.